Hello. Hello, everyone. How you doing? I think I'm starting to recover. My voice is starting to recover, I should say. I don't really know what the problem was. I think I just like lost my voice or something randomly. I have no idea. It's but I think I'm starting to get better. I feel like I sound better than yesterday at the very least. Maybe I don't though. I can't really tell. Anyways, let's go ahead and just take a sneak peek at what I got going on over here. So, you know, cookie clicker, it's the classic, not really much going on. We got 108 out of 129 prestige upgrades, which is, not bad, I guess. I think the only upgrades we have left are these like tiered upgrades. So it's like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 7 plus 12 is 19. Okay, maybe we got a couple more after that. I don't know. But I think it's close at the very least. Yeah, something like that. Okay, I don't care. Listen, what's really more exciting is what we've got going on over here in the Poke Farm world. Oh, look at that. Our little dude hatched. Oh my god, it's an Onyx. That is not a little dude. I got up to field 7, so we certainly have many Pokemons. Also important to note is this week is a tournament. Well, they have a week like every tournament. But this week's tournament has to do with interactions, which is basically the one tournament that you can actually do well in if you're free to play. Now, the problem is that I have a job, so I can't spend like all day interacting with people. I remember the first time that this tournament happened, I did actually place in the top 100. And if you get in the top 100, you get a free egg, which is cool because one of the eggs at random contains a shiny. So that's pretty chill. Or I guess it's not necessarily a shiny, it's a variant, right? So a shiny albino or melanistic. But I'm probably not going to go for that. I'm probably just going for the 200,000 points. Try and get some tokens. Anyways, let me go to the lab. Pick up this egg. This is the dude that stands up and he's got like leafy hands or something. I don't know. And this is Swablu, Girafarig, Larvitar, and then I don't know what this thing is supposed to be. Aha, my gem wish. Collect that, don't mind if I do. Alright, nothing really exciting going on there. What is exciting is solving the mystery of the diabolical box. Am I right? Am I right? Yes, I am. Probably, hopefully, maybe. I think it's exciting. I gotta turn my volume down. I always forget how loud everything is. Alright. Continue. So, when we last left off, I think we were looking for this lady's little boy, as she calls it. I'm pretty sure it's a pet and not actually a child. But anyways. Luke and Layton meet Babette, a wealthy woman hysterical over the disappearance of her boy, Tom. The two offer to help look for Tom, though the only clue they have is one of Tom's tiny shoes. Professor Layton and Luke search for additional clues on the train. Cool. See, I don't even need to give my summary of what happened last time. And I forgot about this dude who's got the pompadour, the wimpiest pompadour I've ever seen. I remember last time I called it a massive pompadour, but I didn't really get a good look at it. It's actually pretty small, pretty weak. Especially given the rest of his size. Oh, passenger. Sorry, sir. I didn't mean to get in the way of you using the deck. You're not a passenger too? I don't remember Layton's voice. I think it's just like a deep British accent. Or vaguely British. I can't really do a good British. Nah, I'm just the mechanic on the train. I ride along with her in case something goes funny. But as you might figure, she's as smooth as butter. Makes my job pretty easy. In fact, I got so much free time that I started making up puzzles. Want to take one for a test drive? Yes, please. First puzzle of the stream. 20 picarots. It's a maze. After years of bad business, a local zoo has finally run out of money to feed its animals. Bellies rumbling from days with no food, the animals make a plan to escape the zoo. After prying open the bars in their rusted cages, all the animals attempt to find their way through the maze-like walls of the zoo to the exit. Tap the picture of each animal you think made it safely out of the zoo, and then tap submit to answer. Just remember, an animal shows its true colors in the wild. Okay, so which animals can actually escape? Can I? Yeah, I can draw pictures. Okay. Okay, so the giraffe goes this way. No, so the giraffe is not making it out. Right, because they go down here, they get trapped, and then over here, and they get trapped. I guess I can just follow this to see where this goes. This goes to the rabbit and the lion. Sweet, so both of them are getting out. And that's it, I think. I think it's literally just the rabbit and the lion that escape. Wow. Okay. But then what? Is the meme gonna be like, actually, only the lion made it out because it ate the rabbit? It's probably gonna be the lion, bro. It's gonna be like, the lion ate the rabbit.
And now to test my theory.
So stupid.
And there we have it.
Sharp thinking. The only animal that will safely escape to freedom is the lion. While both the rabbit and the lion will make it as far as the path to the exit, the second the lion spots the rabbit, he's guaranteed to eat it. This is lion discrimination. Hey, what's the big idea? Don't you know it's hard to pass time with puzzles when you solve them that fast? You're the one that made up the puzzle. What do you mean? Just make up another one. What? That's it? It's just a dude? Okay, well, I'm out of here. I don't really know. Okay, I don't know where I'm supposed to investigate. I thought I was supposed to go back there. And then here's Babette. Oh, wait, there's no more food scraps. There used to be food scraps on the floor here. Interesting. Oh, and here's the dude. The waiter. The waiter's back. Okay, so things are changing even though nothing's really happening. Excuse me, sir. Have you seen a little boy wandering around with only one shoe? No, I don't believe so. But come to think of it, a couple who was just here were talking about a child. Interesting. Do you have any idea where we might find this couple now, my good man? I believe they're staying in the fourth car, sir. May I recommend paying them a visit? A wonderful suggestion. Thank you for your assistance. Come along now, Luke. Let's go drop in on the couple in the fourth car. I wonder if it changed because of, the girl that we passed by. The lady from the first game, who I don't remember her name. I swear it was like Lorna or Esmeralda or something. Oh, okay. Hello. Some old people have showed up. Whoa there, young fellow. You're in the wrong room. My wife and I are staying here. Dreadfully sorry to intrude, sir, but we are searching for a lost little one. Did you happen to see or hear anything pertaining to this? Oh, sweetie, I think they might be talking about that darling cutie pie who just passed by, remember? Oh, yes, he was a cute one. He was small and very clever looking, I'd say. So you did see Tom then? He's been missing a while now. Hey, I don't know whether he was a girl or a boy, truth be told. Tom's a right nice name, though. Why did he... Okay. Lil Bro said, I don't know whether he was a girl or a boy, and then said he. Oh, pish posh, dear, I'd bid my best mole walk as it was a girl who passed by our room. I would too. Yes, now that you mention it, I had a feeling that scamp might be a girl. But until you stick a ribbon on its head, who can really tell, eh? Most... Yeah. Most intelligent person. Now I'm all turned around. I don't have the faintest idea who we're talking about anymore. What? 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 I hate to say it, but it looks like this hot lead has turned cold, Professor. On the contrary, Luke. We may have just stumbled upon some extremely valuable information. What do you mean, Professor? You'll see. First, let's return to the scene of Tom's disappearance. Oh. Okay, I got it. So the lady was talking about the woman that passed by. The dude was talking about Tom, but because Tom is not a child, it's a dog, then he got confused, or maybe a pet. It's a pet animal of some sort. That's why I said he can't tell unless there's a ribbon on him, and he was confused. It's like, oh yeah, you're right. I guess I guess it could have been a girl. It's a freaking dog, bruh. That makes so much more sense. Hello, Bush1G. How's it going? Come to tune into some Professor Layton. The Professor and Luke decide to return to the site of Tom's disappearance. Where was the site of Tom's disappearance, bro? Ah, Inspector. Tell me, are you any closer to uncovering the whereabouts of the missing child? You two are still flipping over furniture to find that tyke, hmm? Do you mean to say that the child has been found? No, not at all. What I'm saying is that the child is no longer on this train. I asked everyone aboard, but no one gave me an answer that suggested they'd seen the lad. This led me to the conclusion that the poor child either got off earlier or fell from the train. That is disturbing, bro. You probably shouldn't think like that. Fell off. Yes, it's entirely plausible, given the way children love to run amok. When you combine that with her oversized head, you've got for yourself a recipe for disaster. What? Look who's talking. I'll contact the railway police at the next station, so feel free to give up in your search. Just a moment, Inspector. The windows on this train are mounted high and every exit is manned. Given the situation, don't you think it's unlikely a child could have made it off the train unnoticed? Alright, I'll give you. So, tell me, Layton, where do you think this elusive ankle-biter got off to? That I can't say, but something tells me we've made a rather large misassumption here. Misassumption? Is that really a word? I guess so. Some kind of British word. Boy, there's just no reason with you. Fine, keep playing detective. Nothing will come of it, I tell ya. Okay. Oh my god. Heels. Heeled boots. What's on your mind, my boy? You look distracted. It's hard to put my finger on why, but I feel like someone has been watching us for a while. You too, then. I've been feeling that same sensation myself. Do you think that someone might be tailing us? It's certainly possible. Keep an eye out for anything unusual. Oh my god, it's another shoe. Huh? This looks like one of Tom's shoes, doesn't it, Professor? It certainly does. But the strange thing is that it's the same foot as the shoe we found earlier. So it is. Aha! So then, Tom must be double-footed. Oh ho ho ho. Luke, I do believe we've both made a faulty assumption.
What exactly do you mean?
Recalled for a moment the events as they have unfolded thus far.
Let's see. We found a tiny shoe on the floor.
That's right, a shoe small enough for a baby.
And then there was the cap we found in the kitchen. But it was lodged in such a tiny corner, I don't know how Tom could have wormed his way back there.
Correct. In order to get back there, Tom would have to be no more than half your size. Well, how small is Luke, bro? I mean, I know he's a child, but he's not like a baby.
Now that you mention it, I don't think I've seen any boys younger than myself on the train.
That was my impression as well, which is why I began to consider a different line of thought. Luke, what if you and I have already seen Tom about and didn't know it? You see, all the while we've been searching for Tom, we've assumed that he's a small boy. But what if that assumption proves false? What if we've been wrong from the start? What if Tom is a small girl?
I think I see what you're getting at, Professor. The second shoe was the same in every way as the first shoe, including which foot it was for. If that strange pair of shoes means what I think it does, then Tom must be an alien.
Oh my god, what? The best puzzle of all time. Professor Layton has a feeling that Tom may not be the child we suspect him to be. Move the L-shaped pieces around and arrange them into a cross shape in the middle of the board in a way that sheds some light on Tom's true identity. Okay. So I need to swap everything. Which I think means I can just, like, move them around. Oh, I guess I should be putting them in the corners, shouldn't I? Oops. Okay, well. We'll get them next time. Oh god. What have I done? Oh wait, no, this doesn't work. Oh my god, am I gonna have to go all the way back? What have I done? Okay, I think maybe this will be fine. What? Bro. What? Oh, okay, we're getting somewhere. Maybe? This is the worst puzzle of all time. Oh my god, come on, man, it's so close! Okay, here we go. Amazing. 132. So easy.
Leave it to me.
This puzzle is possible to solve in 17 moves.
Good work. That's it. Sweet.
Tom is a dog.
I mean, you know, it could have been literally any four-legged animal, but sure. Do you recall the girl we saw holding a small dog? I suspect that small dog was our friend Tom.
So if we track down that girl, we'll find Tom.
Well, luckily for you, I think the girl is stalking you. Professor and Luke decide to search for a young woman holding a little dog. And now they call her a woman. Which is it? Make up your goddamn mind. What of that special car, get your pal. But it's like I said before, no can do. Let's run it out. Okay. I don't know what that dude's accent or voice is, okay? Don't ask. Hello.
Greetings, sir. Are you still searching for that lost little one?
Indeed, we are still searching. Tell me, sir, have you by any chance seen a young lady pass by with a small dog?
Ah, now that does ring a bell. Yes, I believe she was headed toward the back of the train.
Is that so? Well, thank you, sir. You've been most helpful. Where's she at? Okay, we got Babette. She's still sleeping. We got Shelmy. Probably thinks the child's dead still.
Well, if it isn't the famous Mr. Layton, dashing about like he knows something I don't. I was just about to head over to Babette's and inform her that her child is no longer aboard the train.
Inspector, we are mere moments away from discovering Tom's location. Might I ask you to give us just a bit longer to finish our search?
Still don't want to face the truth, eh, Layton? Fine, since you're so intent on it and seeing how Babette is napping right now, I'll wait a little while longer. But mind you, the moment she wakes up, I'm taking my findings to her. Got it? If you want to prove yourself right, bring the boy right back before that.
Terrible reading. Understood. I plan to do just that, Inspector. I hate this dude's voice. I know, like, I shouldn't do it like that, but that's kind of how he sounds in the cutscenes, right? So, I feel obligated.
We better find the girl with the dog as quickly as we can.
Let's go. Who the heck is that? Hello?
Hey, looky here, you guys have solved at least 12 puzzles. I applaud ya. Heartily. I can't see how I could dislike a couple of can-do go-getters like yourselves. Let's be pals, eh?
Oh, okay. Does that mean I can leave? May I? May I leave? What's going on?
Nope. That's not the answer. Ooh, this one's gonna weigh heavy on my mind, I tell you. Now, what's with you two? What can I do you for?
We're looking for a young lady with a small dog. Have you seen anyone fitting that description?
Yeah, I remember seeing someone like that pass by. Was headed to the back of the train, I think.
Thank you very much. We'll just be on our way.
Now hold it right there, Top Hat. I see how it is. Get all rousely to answer your question and then scoot off without a word. I tell you what you wanted to know, so the way I figure it, you should at least lend a fella a hand.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't realize you needed our help. How may we be of assistance? Of service? Just completely made up a word there.
There's this puzzle that's been on my mind for ages now. Maybe you'll have better luck with it. Want to try?
Yes, I do. A man sitting next to you on the train shows you a picture he's drawn. Let's say this picture has a total area of 10. Can you figure how much of it is made up of colors of clouds compared to the area that's made up of sky? Don't think you need to guess the answer. There's a definite method you can use to work this out. I mean, I'm just gonna say 50%. I don't know. It seems like they're mirrors of each other. Right? Like this section right here of the blue is the same as the section right here of the white.
This should do the trick. Well,
Too
suppose
bad.
you
Think hard
can't
about the
put
clues
them
you've been given
all.
a try again. Okay. Time to try again. My bad. I guessed and I was wrong. Okay. It's a picture of his... Oh my god, a total area of 10. I'm so stupid. Okay. So it's supposed to be 5. And then 5.
Consider this puzzle solved.
It's not. Hey, my bad.
Well, I suppose that's one possibility eliminated.
Shut up, Layton. I'm sorry, okay? I missed the guess the first time. There's a definite method. I mean, I don't know. I see that there's like these lines here, or these bolts. I don't think these are actually important though. Well, there are 10. Oh my god. Okay. Yep. This divides into 10 sections. So these are the same. Right. These have the same area. These are the same. These are the same. And these are the same. So across 8 squares, it's 4 to 4, so it's 6 to 4. 6 for the sky and 4 for the clouds. Amazing.
Consider this puzzle solved.
I can't believe I actually had to try. I mean, I did kind of see the mirroring effect, but I didn't think about splitting it into different squares. So, smart. Nice job. The key here is to use the studs surrounding the picture to divide it up. Once you do that, it should be clear that B and F, C and I, D and G, and E and H are all simply pairs of the same drawings with the color reversed. This means that in these 8 areas, there are 4 squares of sky, 4 squares of clouds. The remaining 2 squares and J are solid blue, so in the end, there are 6 squares of sky, 4 squares of clouds. Oh, so that's how you do it. You've got quite a head on your shoulders, don't you? Now, as the girl you were asking about, she's probably on the observation deck behind me. Thanks, man. Get out of the goddamn way, please. The professor and Luke decide to talk with the girl on the observation deck. Oh my god. She looks so familiar. I wonder why.
Excuse me.
The dog jumps off the train.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey, it's you!
Yes, I had the sneaking suspicion that it was you who was tailing us.
Flora, what are you
Oh,
doing
Flora
here?
is her name. Oops.
I'm sorry. It's just... Well, you see, I just didn't want to be all alone again.
How long has it been since the first game?
Professor?
Like a day?
What lies ahead could be dangerous.
Huh?
That's why we'll have to be extra careful. All right?
Yep.
Aw. Dude, Layton looks kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. It's just the solid black bead eyes. I don't know, bro. I wouldn't trust him. Oh, he's the dog we saw earlier. Quick, grab him. Yep. No, I'll be. Tom wasn't a boy at all. Ho ho, right you are, Luke. That is definitely a girl dog. Now, let's get him back to his owner.
Oh, I suppose I'll just be going now.
Don't be ridiculous. Come along now. My god, they've definitely updated her sprite, bro. She looks nothing like she did in the first game. Flora's now traveling with you. The top screen shows who's walking with you. Yay! I think Flora is just going to be like in the series from now on. Maybe. Maybe not. The professor, Luke, and Flora decide to bring Tom back to his owner, Babette. Oh. Oh, that's Tom, bro. That's kind of terrifying. I thought that was just like a small dude. Like a little gremlin guy. It must be lovely to sit out here with a cup of tea.
I just didn't want to be all alone again.
It's like, what did they do when they took her out of the Curious Village? They just like left her somewhere. They just like took her to a hotel and were like, well, we're out of here. Bye. I know you have no family and no money. Oh, thank heavens, you're all right. My sweet little Tommy boy. I miss you so.
Yep, yep.
This is Tom. We were under the impression that we were searching for a boy, not a mutt with a fancy haircut.
How dare you compare my darling Tommykins to some common street mongrel?
Lost dogs are no matter for Scotland Yard. The next time he goes missing, find him yourself. Blimey, some folks haven't an ounce of sense. Come on, Barton, we've got real cases to solve.
You got it, Inspector. Don't you walk away from me. I'm not done talking about your atrocious manners. Okay. Well, enough of that. Welcome back, sweetie. Where did my little Tommykins run off to today? He's such a darling that I feared someone might have kidnapped him and been holding him for ransom.
Perhaps we should keep Flora's involvement in Tom's disappearance under wraps.
Good idea, my boy. Why did she take him?
Eep.
I do believe a reward is in order. $10 million. Here, I know it's quite, generous, but I insist. Oh. Thank you. A hamster toy. I hear we'll be making a stop in a quaint village by the name of Dropstone.
Much longer until we get there, Professor.
Not entirely sure, but waiting here won't make the time pass much faster. Let's rest while we wait. Well, we solved the mystery of Tom. Turns out that Tom isn't a child as was thought originally, but rather Babette's pet dog. It would seem that Babette's affection for Tom is so deep that she considers him to be much more than just a pet. The professor, Luke, and Flora decide to return to their quarters for the time being. She looks so cute. Her eyes are huge, though. It's kind of spooky. It reminds me of like bug eyes.
Say, Flora, where have you been hiding all this time? Well, until I found that little dog, I've just been relaxing in my room. Really? You've got your own room?
Why do their voices sound so similar?
Sure I do. It's the middle one in the third car. Wow, you do know that's the room right next to ours, don't you? Yeah, that's why I picked it.
You were just a wall away from us, and I never so much as suspected you were there. It would seem that my powers of observation are a bit rusty. Yeah, I'll say.
Eek!
My word! Why is the train stopped?
What's going on?
God, he's so pissed.
Samuel, you dolt, what did you do this time?
Hey, boss man, chill out. This damn train like just sitting on the track. I think I like the Boomhauer voice more. So we can move that thing out of our way. We're not getting anywhere, man.
Get your rear gear, move it now. I won't have your laziness tarnishing my voluntary brand.
I'm just the MC. So we get something a little more, gear-headed to handle this. Besides, train cars ahead, man. How am I supposed to move it?
I don't not hear excuses, especially from a layabout conductor who barely owns his keep. I don't care how you do it, just get it done.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. Just turn it down a notch, Uncle.
Uncle. I might be your uncle, but I'm also current president of this railway, and I demand you address me as such.
Okay, I guess they're related. Okay, alright, sure. Whatever you say, Mr. President. Okay, I guess we're just out here now. Wow, looking at it again, it sure is a stunning train. Go here. Well, let me talk to this dude first.
I'm too nice to the indolent scrubbing nephew of mine. All the louse does is complain.
Okay. Let's get out of here. What seems to be the problem here? Oh, sorry, Mr. Passenger. See, there's this gigantic freight train parked on the track and it's blocking our way. Clearing the track is going to take some time, so just sit back with some busy and wait. I see. Can I lend you a hand? For real? Oh, yeah, that'd be way helpful. Think you can find a way to move the train blocking the track so we can, like, get a move on? Step aside now. We're not going anywhere until that train moves off the track. Okay, I guess we're not helping. What's up, buddy? So we got this car out of the way. The Military Express isn't going anywhere. Puzzle number 26. Move the train. Swap the positions of the two trains along the tracks. Move the cars one at a time and make sure that the numbers by the side of the track match the numbers in each car. Okay, this is just a classic swap puzzle, right? Although, I guess it is a little different. So this... Okay, never mind. This looks pretty easy, doesn't it? Oh, no, it's not easy at all. Okay. I think it's like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then you move this up here. Ah, shoot. I did not do this correctly, did I? Okay, it's... Oh my god, I'm so annoyed. What am I doing? Okay. Worked out.
Consider this
I don't
puzzle
think I
solved.
did that optimally, but close enough.
A true gentleman leaves no puzzle unsolved.
That's right. Now hurry back to the train. It's behind schedule as it is. Hopefully we should be able to continue our journey now. Yep, I reckon we're good here. Give me just a second, we'll be up and running again. Alright, that was a nice little interlude. Are we still in chapter 1? We're finally moving again. It shouldn't be too much longer before we can arrive in Dropstone. I wonder if we'll find any useful information there. I hope so. Cool, I got a round part. No, I missed 2 train puzzles. Bro, I thought the entire game was going to take place on this train. I guess that was a bit optimistic. Where's Flora? I want to see more Flora. Fireworks. Welcome to Dropstone. The 50th anniversary of Dropstone. Let's go. Oh my god. Okay. Why did that sound effect just play? It's like somebody just died. The sun sound back there didn't number on a break, so we're stopping here for repairs, man. We got at least 3 hours till we'll be ready to roll, so why don't you get to logical sites, man? I almost said logical sites. Capsule idea. Besides, who knows what information we might stumble upon in the village. Yeah, sure, man. I don't know what that means, man. Professor, Luke, and Flora decided to take in the sights around Dropstone. Alright, let's do it. Let's talk to this bro first. I tell you, man, this sleepy little farm place is like the chillest place on earth, man. My uncle, the boss is wandering around the village, and so is that inspector dude, man. Village is celebrating its 50th anniversary right now, so I bet there's tons of stuff to do, man. If I want to start working out, I generally go check it out myself. If I want to start working, I'd definitely go check it out myself. So, the village was founded only 50 years ago. That's quite young for settlements in these parts. And it's so peaceful here. I really can't believe we'll find any clues about the Elysian box. No, I wouldn't be so sure of that, Luke. Remember, one of the first rules of puzzle solving is that the answer is often in the unlikeliest of places.
Of course you're right. I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled for clues, Professor.
Where's Flora? She's just tagging along, not saying anything. I mean, fair enough, I guess. Oh my god, there's Granny.
Well, Mr. Layton, how are you enjoying your time here in Dropstone?
It's been delightful. Every once in a while, it's nice to leave the city and enjoy the countryside.
The air is so clean and fresh. I'm so jealous of the people who get to live out here.
I couldn't put it better myself. There's something about this place that makes you feel like a new man.
And with the village celebrating its 50th anniversary today, our timing couldn't be better. Come to think of it, your Momentary Express turned 50 this year, didn't it? Quite the coincidence.
Yes, indeed it did. Sure coincidence, of course.
Still, it could have been fun to celebrate your train's anniversary here at the festival.
Well, we already have grand 50th anniversary celebration planned at an exclusive venue in London.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'm sure your party will be on par with the excellence of your train.
Yes, and on that note, I'm afraid I'll have to excuse myself. Good day, Mr. Layton.
Good day to you, Mr. Beluga.
Is Mr. Beluga going to be the main villain of this game?
My, it's already been a year since she passed. Time truly does just fly by.
Oh, okay. She.
Who do you think he was talking about, Professor?
I haven't the foggiest, Luke. Maybe he's not going to be a villain, but I assume his train line is connected to this town somehow. Oh, okay. Instead of talking to Granny, we just go directly into the house.
Oh, hello. Fancy seeing you, laddies. Me. They booted me off the train until they fixed it.
What is wrong with her? Looks like Joker.
If you're after a few puzzles to pass the time, just take a peek inside my shack of wonders. I'll be here until I can get back on the train, so just come by if you get a hankering for a puzzle.
I do have a hankering for a couple puzzles, actually. 15 picker outs, that's it. There's something on the flowery side. Of the 3 pictures labeled A, B, and C, one is actually the same as the picture on the far left. However, the image on the far left has had its contents flipped left to right and its colors inverted and changed to black and white. Of A, B, and C, which picture is the same as the black and white picture on the far left? Well, I'm pretty sure A and B are the same. So my guess is C.
Here goes.
It was wrong. Okay.
Looks like I botched that one.
I messed up a 15 figure out puzzle. Oh, you know what? I guess I did mess it up, huh? So then what's the correct answer between A and B? Oh, it's this little dot here that's missing. That's annoying. I guess I should have actually looked at the picture before pressing C, you know, in all fairness, but I don't know, bro. I just assumed. I just assumed. That's right. Image A is the same as the picture as the black and white picture on the far left. As shown above, pictures B and C have slight variations from the image in question. Alright. Unlucky. Unlucky, as they say in Hearthstone. Never lucky. Pass it on. Double it and give it to the next person. 8 people are playing an unusual communication game. In this game, one person has to get a message across to 7 other people. It takes 1 minute to pass along the message, and each time the message is spoken, it can only have one recipient. Using these rules was the shortest amount of time in minutes for the message to pass to all 7 other players. I mean, I assume it's 7. Takes 1 minute for a person to hear the message, right? Oh my gosh. Hello. It's been a minute, huh? I'm playing Professor Layton in the Diabolical box. It's a nice little puzzle game. I actually played the first one a long time ago, like 2 or 3 months ago. But I waited a while to play this one since I had some puzzle burnout. What the? Okay. 7.
And now to test my theory.
I was wrong. What? That's
My,
cringe.
This one is
Did the
quite
wording of the puzzle
formidable.
throw you for a loop? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's, that's fair. I don't know if daylight savings played a part or not. But well, I'm still streaming. Been chilling. I mean, it's important to sleep well, right? I have not been sleeping very well, to be honest, these past couple weeks. I've been staying up until like midnight or 1 a.m. or something, getting like 6 hours of sleep. It's pretty bad. But, so be it. It takes 1 minute to pass along the message, and each time the message is spoken, it can only have one recipient. Using these rules... I don't know. I'm just gonna put 1. What do you think the answer is? Hold the audience. Can't do math. I mean, I don't know if this is a math problem. I would hope it's not a math problem. It's basically like they're playing telephone. 1 minute to pass the message along. I don't know, maybe it's like they can like write the message down. Oh my god.
Well,
This is a 20
I suppose you
Pickerot
can't
puzzle.
win them all.
So the higher the Pickerots, the tougher the puzzle is. I think the highest in the first game was like 75. This one's 20, so it's not supposed to be hard, but apparently I don't know what's going on. The character designs in this game, yes, I know, right? 75. That's like a massive number. I can't even count that high. It takes 1 minute to pass along the message, and each time the message is spoken, it can only have one recipient. Using these rules, what's the shortest amount of time in minutes for the message to pass to all 7 other players? Wait, what? I actually don't understand. You know what? Let's get a hint. Let's grab a hint. This is what the hint coins are for. What you need to remember here is that any one person can only spread them. Oh my god. Okay, I got it. Here's the thing, right? So this person here, I'm going to use the memo. I'm going to make some drawings. That's what I thought. I thought 7. But here's the trick. Okay. So this person spreads it to this person. That takes a minute. But then both of these people each spread it to another person. So it's not one person at a time, right? It's multiple people at a time. So this actually is a math problem. That's funny. So this is actually going to be log base 2 of 8, which is equal to 3. Boom.
And now to test my theory.
Amazing. There you go.
Wonderful.
And that's the puzzle. Very nice. If the original messenger spreads the word as shown above, this game can be completed in 3 minutes. During that time, the original messenger can tell 3 people the message, and the people who hear the message within the first 2 minutes can go on to become messengers themselves. When an emergency arises, the information network structured in the above fashion can help get the word out fast. And there you go. See, Professor Layton teaching us life lessons. If you're in an emergency, divide and conquer. Thank you, Layton. Oh, and I got a button part for the camera. Sweet. Alright. Yeah. I don't do you know much about the Professor Layton franchise? I know extremely little, but like I said, I played the first one on stream because it's a series that I've been interested in for a while. And I'm glad to be back. It's a good time. I don't know where this thing is supposed to go. Let's put it down here somewhere. Actually, let's drag it back up. Yeah, I didn't really know much about it when I first played the first one. I think the only thing I kind of knew was I saw somebody play through the Professor Layton Ace Attorney crossover game. But that was like such a long time ago. I don't remember anything about it. Look at this dude. He's so sad. Sad little hamster boy. The goal of this minigame is to make the hamster work out so he stops being fat. Which is just a great time. A hamster attracted to this adorable little house once within 3 spaces of him, but he always ignores it and heads toward a nearby apple if the choice exists. Okay, let's go ahead and watch him exercise. I've never seen this before.
Oh, come on! I'm tired!
What was that? That was disturbing. We got a Bostonian hamster here. Ah, come on, I'm tired over here. What the... Amazing. Oh, I forgot I named the hamster B. No, he does not. I look at him, man. But, oh my god. So the story about how we got this guy is the chef on this train, because like the game starts on a train, hence the name of the stream, Puzzle Train. The chef on the train has this pet hamster, and he just can't help but feed him because he like is lonely, and so he's like, here, eat some food. And so now the hamster's really like out of shape, and so he's like, please take my hamster and make him work out so he doesn't like, I don't know, keep eating food. And so now we're supposed to make him exercise by running around and playing with toys. He is quite round. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. These games are full of wacky characters, it seems. Like you'll see with these character designs that characters are quite interesting. Hey, here's an example right here. We got Pinocchio.
Oh ho, and who do we have here? Visitors from out of town.
Indeed we are. We were traveling on the Monetary Express, but we've stopped here for repairs.
If you're here for repairs, I bet I know where you're headed.
Yeah, I know. These characters, their proportions are ungodly, unholy, really. It's just... I think we need an exorcist up in here. Layton, honestly, like, I kind of like Professor Layton's design, but during the animated cutscenes, his eyes are extremely jarring, because they're literally just black dots. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, really? What do you mean, sir?
Oh, I was just thinking out loud. Yep, just chatting with myself. Forget about it. Say, did you notice the festival that's running today here in Dropstone? Today marks the 50th year since the founding of our village. Make sure you get in on the fun.
By the way, I don't know if my voice sounds bad. I think I was losing my voice a couple days ago. Ever since the Canadian wildfires, I maybe inhaled a little bit too much smoke. It's like...
Is this fair food? I could really go for something fried.
Same here, buddy. Oh, okay. I haven't been to a fair or like anything like that, a festival, in forever. Yeah, I think I'm fine. But I don't know. Something's weird with my voice. It's been sounding off. Like I've been sick. But I'm not sick and I feel fine. This is Flora. So the main two characters in this game, or in the series, are Layton and Luke. Luke is like... I don't know, there was like a weird cutscene earlier where Luke was like, I'm Layton's apprentice. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll manifest it. Positive affirmations. But Luke was like, I'm Layton's apprentice. And then Layton was like, yeah, Luke is my, and then Luke cut him off. He's like, I'm his apprentice. So I don't know what kind of relationship they got. It's kind of sus. But then this is Flora. She was actually in the first game, and she was like, I don't know, she was some like mystery character that you had to save from the village. And now she followed you on this train because she's like, I'm lonely and I don't want to be alone. And they're like, okay, you can come with us. So now she's just chilling. I think she actually becomes like a decently major character because I think she has her own game. Yeah, probably. There was a lady on the train who, like, her only companionship is her dog. So she thinks of her dog as like her child. It's a great time. It's good.
Wow, look at all the stuff there is to do. I've never been to a real life festival before. It's wonderful.
Yeah. She was like one of those like super, rich ladies with like a crazy sounding voice. You'd know the type if you heard it. There was a cutscene earlier. Sounded like this. Something like that.
Oh, that's right, Flora. I'd forgotten how you grew up in that one little village. Well, now's your chance to make up for lost time. Let's explore. That's a great idea. Where should we go first? Oh, let's go look at that booth over there. I want to see what they've got.
Yeah.
Wait for me.
Ha ha ha. You two watch where you're running or you're liable to crash into something. I'm going to just stand over there. Oh my god, it's this guy again. This guy was also in the first game. He's literally like a complete random. Like in his first appearance, he's not like with Layton. He's like, that Professor Layton, I'm gonna get him this time. And then Layton doesn't even know who he is. He didn't recognize him. So I don't know. There's a one-sided rivalry. I don't know. He's the villain of the franchise, I guess. He just shows up to be evil. It's bizarre. He like, there was a Ferris wheel that he like made go off the stand and started rolling. So like the giant Ferris wheel was rolling after them and they had to like dodge, otherwise they would just get crushed and die. He's a little cray-cray. I respect it. He's willing to do anything to achieve his goals. It's a man with drive and passion.
Look at all the fruits and veggies on this cart.
Also, you're gonna have to deal with my girly voice for a while. It's not very good, but... yeah, I guess there is such a thing as too much passion.
It probably belongs to the person running that little stand. Oh, but it looks like one of the wheels is dented. That must make it difficult to move much. Yeah, I bet it's a real pain. Anyways. Oh, but that reminds me of a puzzle about a busted wheel.
Another common trope in this game is literally anything that happens. Oh, I know about a puzzle like that. What did it be? In the back of the train yard, there's an old warped wheel lying on the ground as shown below. A star is pointing to its axle while no longer functional. The wheel is interesting because when rolled on a flat surface, its axle traces a funny pattern. If you look at it from the side, of the 5 diagrams below, which one depicts the actual path of the axle? Thank you. I try my best. Okay. Okay. So, if it's rolling, it's going like this, and then as it turns the corner, I think it might be like this. I think it might be A. I'm not very good at visualizing this. Doesn't help. Because, like, I think when it's rolling on this corner, the top corner, it's going to stay in, like, the same position. That's true. I guess it is kind of early for you, huh? I, on the other hand, am fresh off of work, which makes this even better for me. Whatever, let's just screw it, right? Pick
Just
A.
leave it to me.
Aha! Nice job!
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake! Luke is always extremely overconfident. That's right, diagram A correctly traces the path of the axle as the wheel rolls. You probably won't see this wheel on a train anytime soon, but it sure would be fun to watch it bounce around, wouldn't it? I think the Mythbusters did a thing where like square wheels, and it wasn't that bad. Piece of paint! Lead paint. Alright,
That's right, Luke. You sure figured that one out fast. Yeah, I'm pretty smart. If you've got puzzles, I've got answers. I'm impressed you knew a puzzle like that. I'd never heard that one before. Well, I need to know a few to run with you two.
Also, she literally lived in a village where everyone was obsessed with puzzles. You know, she kind of has a tragic backstory, actually. Like, her mom died, and then her dad commissioned this engineer to build a robot replica of her mom. And then he built robot people for the entire village, and so she was just living alone in a village of robots after he died. And like that's the story of the first game. Spoiler alert. Yeah, and he's like, there's a diary entry where he's like, "I'm so sorry, Flora, I couldn't handle it. I had to wipe your robot mother's memory because it depressed me too much. I'm going to die soon." Like, it's like, okay. Sweet. Now, what local delicacies do we have here?
What are all these arrows for? Oh, it's a carnival game.
Hey there, Squirts. Try your hand at this fine game of skill. I tell you what, since business is so slow,
I said busyness.
since business is so slow right now, the first try is on me.
Gosh, really, mister?
I just can't. I mean, look at this schnoz, bro. This is a Giga Chad right here. Giant jawline, giant schnoz. I don't know what's wrong with his forehead, though.
Well, I can't say no to a deal like that. Come on, Flora, we can try it together.
Yeah, it's the Crimson Shin. If you're familiar with Fairly Odd Parents. Alright. A bag of candy dangles from one of 3 arrows attached to the wall. Assuming that all 3 arrows are perfectly straight, which arrow, A, B, or C, is connected to the candy? Is this an optical illusion? I think it's C. I think the optical illusion is supposed to be that it looks like it's B. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. Draw a straight line. Wait, maybe the optical illusion is supposed to be that it looks like it's coming from C. Maybe it's coming from A. No, it's not coming from A. I think it might be B, actually. Drop stone boat. What the? What is on this banner? Drop stone both? And there's flowers. I think it might be B. C was my first instinct, but let's go. Drawing lines. See, this was actually on a DS. You could just put like a style. I guess I could have just like grabbed a pencil and put it on my screen. Ah, whatever. Aha. Arrow B is the one attached to the candy. The reason this puzzle is tough for some people is because it contains a famous optical illusion. When you obscure a portion of a diagonal line with a straight shape, the 2 visible portions of the line appear disjointed from one another. They did appear disjointed.
Nicely done, Shorty. Here's a little something for that fine performance.
Really? Gosh, thank you.
Wow. We got a camera part. Thanks. Thanks, mister. Kind of reminds me of a time I went to a Renaissance fair when I was a kid. I guess I wasn't a kid, I was like a teenager. But I only went once, even though I kind of wanted to try going to a Renaissance fair again because they're kind of fun. But there was a booth or whatever where you could shoot like a bow and arrow. And I don't know if you've ever shot a bow and arrow before, but at least in my opinion, it's like extremely difficult to keep the arrow straight and still shoot it. So I just like shot it directly into the roof of the booth, and it was pretty bad. It's like there was targets out there, and I just shot it whoop, straight up. Anyways, let's talk to this character over here.
We're doing some top secret festival prep back here, so you can't come in yet, okay?
I don't know, like, I guess because like I was pulling it back, and then while I was trying to hold it, like you don't want, I'm just not good at firing them, okay? But like I didn't want the arrow to be like resting on my finger, because if it was resting, then I was thinking like it wouldn't actually fire, because then like the tail would hit my finger or something. So then like I think it was like dangling somewhere, and I don't know. I don't know, okay? That's why people use composite bows, because they just hold it in place for you. And it's easy. You just pull it back and then... Choo! They should have had that in Lord of the Rings. It would have been so much easier. Okay. You gotta try it, okay? You can't laugh unless you've tried it. And if you have tried it, then... don't say anything, you'll embarrass me. It was so bad. I just like, shoo, right into the roof. Oh god. Alright, I'm out of here. I just like, I think you got like 3 shots and I was just gone after the first. I was like, alright, thank you. Look at this crazy looking tree, Professor. It's all warped.
With a structure like that, it must be quite old. I wonder how long it's been here. Oh, Luke, our little conversation reminded me of a puzzle I know. Care to hear it?
Sure. Yeah, I think at that Renaissance fair, I got like a dagger and some throwing knives. Which is interesting because like normally they're not allowed to sell actual like sharpened weaponry at Renaissance fairs. You're not allowed to bring in like sharpened weaponry either. I think usually they, at least at the Renaissance fair I went to, I should say, they like zip tied your weapons closed. That way you couldn't take them out, I guess. But for some reason they just had throwing knives, which were like completely legit sharpened, and you could just throw them and they would like pierce somebody. The country road you see here is lined with a single straight row of trees, each planted at a different time and each a different distance from its neighbor. Of the 5 trees labeled A through E here, which 2 trees have the greatest distance between them? Study the diagram carefully and draw a line between the letters of the 2 trees you've chosen. What? Isn't that dangerous? That's what I'm saying. You're pretty good at arrows. Well, what can I say? I'm bad. I just have bad hand-eye coordination, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it would be cooler if you could just buy like a straight-up longsword from a Renaissance fair, but I think there's probably like legal implications there. Like, if you just have an entire fair of selling, you know, medieval weaponry. I don't know. What? I feel like it might be C to E. What is it, like foreshortening, right? Maybe it's... Well... What does it mean by distance? Just like how far away they are? Or like the distance in height? The greatest distance between them. I mean, wouldn't it just be A and E? I don't know.
Here goes.
I'm just gonna guess. Amazing. It was the first tree and the last tree. That's right. No matter how you look at it, trees A and E clearly have the greatest distance between them. That was a 20 Pickerot puzzle. That was the same number of Pickerots as that freaking communication puzzle that you had to, like, do the log base 2. All you had, like... Bro. Perhaps I should have prepared something a bit more challenging for you, Luke. Well, we'll save that for next time. For now, let's continue our walk about the village. A new hamster toy! Use this tree stump to help your hamster get in shape. How is that going to help him get in shape? He's just going to sit on the tree stump. Whatever. Let's talk to this old lady. Oh my god. I am so sorry. Why are your eyes the same color as your skin? What is wrong with you?
Hey there, fellow. I'm in a real bind here. Help an old gal out, will you?
What seems to be the problem, madam?
My sweet little bird fell down a hole in the ground here.
What? Your bird fell down a hole.
I want to help the poor thing, but I just can't reach her. Do you have any ideas?
This reminds me of a puzzle. I believe there's something we can try. The trapped bird. It's just a maze. Oh shoot, wait, there's a snake. Yeah, now, can I ask? First of all, how did this bird fit in here? Second of all, how is this bird supposed to get out? Come on, let's be real. Oh no, Laurel's poor little bird has fallen down a long, winding hole in the ground. In front of the bird are 3 paths labeled A, B, and C. Which tunnel should the bird take in order to make it back above ground? And here's where the drawing feature comes in handy. Where's the snake? Snake goes into A. B goes... What the fruit? Okay, so B seems to escape. So then where does C go? I guess C just goes nowhere. Yeah, C just goes nowhere. Oh my god, C goes back to A. Whoa. I don't know. Listen, it's best not to think about it, okay? Just press B. Get off the screen. We need to help this little birdie out.
A true gentleman leaves no puzzle unsolved.
Maybe he started eating dirt down there. Oh, there. Okay, okay. He's got moves. He's slick with it. He's shoot. Very nice. The bird can safely escape her underground confines by following tunnel B. Any other tunnel will lead her deeper underground or into the mouth of a very hungry snake. I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's how the bird got out.
There's my little birdie. I was worried she'd be stuck down there forever. I wish I had some way of thanking you properly.
Could I have a camera part, please?
Oh, I know. Here, you can have this tea set and these lovely herbs. Take them, I insist.
The tea set minigame has been added to the trunk. Okay. You got the ingredient Oasis Leaf. Use it to create tea blends. You got the ingredient Briskberry. Bell Tart Seed. Okay. Let's go. To access the tea set, touch the trunk icon, then touch the tea set icon. The tea set lets you mix and brew a variety of herbal teas. Add multiple doses of an herb to increase that herb's effect in the tea. What? Okay. Well, what does the tea do? My other ingredients you gathered to make a variety of delectable teas. Tea ingredients currently in your possession can be found. Okay. And the properties can give your tea. Yeah. Okay, 3 ingredients. Okay. Oh my god. The lid next to it will start to wiggle. Place the lid on top of the teapot to start brewing your tea. Holy moly. Okay, while viewing your list of teas, tab a tea over the... When do you find a tea you like, tap to serve. 12 recipes. Jesus, okay. Refreshing. Sweet. Sour. Are you... Is there actually a reason to do this? Whatever. Let's just try it at least once. Let's mix all of these together and see what happens. I'm anxious to see how this tea turns out. Let's put that lid on and start brewing. Yeah. Well done! 1 pot of tea coming right up. We got the Bell Classic! Oh, it's a little sour and a little sweet. Yum! I'm glad they're not sharing it with Flora. That would be too gentlemanly. I certainly have to tip my hat to this tea's drinkability. I imagine it would be delicious cold as well. Yup, and since it's nice and light, I bet just about anyone would be happy to have a cup. Including Flora. They do kind of look like flies, don't they? Yes, I myself am partial to its lovely fruity aftertaste. Okay. That's a fun little minigame. I feel like it serves zero purpose. In the first game, there were 3 minigames. One of them was the Gizmo, which was like a robot dog that you could put together, which I think is like in the same vein as the camera. There was another one that was like their hotel rooms. So you get like different furniture and you could put it in the hotel room. And then the last one was like a painting that you could collect a bunch of pieces of and rearrange it. Now we've got a tea set, a fat hamster, and a camera. So, you know, not everything gets better with age. Let's see. Hamster always goes for the apple instead. Sure. All right, let's see this bro exercise. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we do. We have a snack. Don't worry. Don't worry, my friend. We got a snack for you right there. It's the apple. The apple of my eye. Oh man, is that a tree stump? He ate the tree stump. I guess he also ate the house, which I didn't realize before.
I'm gonna feel this tomorrow for sure.
Oh look, okay, he's a little skinnier. He's a little skinnier, and he doesn't look as depressed anymore. Maybe there's hope for me somewhere. Somewhere, some way. Yeah, I don't know. He just eats everything. Alright, camera. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with that. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Let's just drop a save, and let's keep going. There's nothing over here. Glorious. It's a small house, but it has a wonderful charm to it. God. Oh, okay. I guess they're ready for us now. What's down here? Oh, there's this dude. What's to the left? A farmer. Another massive schnoz. Gracious. Kostya. What, are we in a Russian village?
The weather couldn't be finer for celebrating Dropstone's fancy 50th. My memory's not what it used to be, but you're not from here, are you? Waiting on the train, How do I know, you ask? Well, this isn't the first time it's happened. As fancy as that train is, it must be in rotten shape. Take heart, Sonny. More often than not, the train gets fixed up in a few hours. What with the festival and all, there's plenty here to do and see in the meantime.
Thank you for the information. If I could trouble you for a moment, though, I'd like to ask you about a relic known as the Elysian Box. Okay. I probably didn't mention this before. So the Elysian Box, aka the Diabolical Box, aka the Philosopher's Box in the non-American version, supposedly it's a box that when you open it, you die. And at the beginning of the game, they got a letter from a friend who was like, I have the box and I'm gonna open it, so hopefully I don't die. And they went to his apartment and he was dead. So now we're investigating why he's dead. And also, like, I think on the cover screen of the game is Layton opening the box or something. Or no, that was like a promo art that I saw when I was looking up the cover art for the game. It was Layton opening the box. So hopefully Layton doesn't die.
Oh, dear me. Oh, dear me. I've never heard of the dreadful thing. Never, you hear?
Hmm.
Well, that's enough chatting with strangers for one day. To be frank, I was in high spirits till you came along. Now I'm crabbier than a crab apple. Screw you, buddy. I hope you die in a fire. If you really want to prove you're sorry for ruining my day, solve this here puzzle.
Yeah, totally inconspicuous.
I've never heard of anything called the Elysian box. That's not a box where you die if you open it, is it? I've never heard of it.
Pro golfer has the amazing ability to consistently putt distances of 3, 5, 7, and 11 feet. Strangely enough, though, these are the only distances he can putt. Currently, our golfer stands on the green with his ball 20 feet from the hole. What's the fewest number of strokes he can use to get the ball into the hole? Assume that if the ball is hit farther than the distance remaining to the hole, it will roll over to the other side without going into the cup. Yeah, I know, right? He's like gaslighting. He's like, you completely ruined my day. Pay me $50. I don't know why he kind of sounds like Gilbert Gottfried. Okay. 3, 5, 7, and 11. Well, I don't think that you can get it in 3. I'm just going to throw that out there. I mean, you can easily get it in 4, right? If you just putt 5 feet 4 times. I mean, it's not possible to get it in 3, right? Like, you put it 11, there's 9 left. Put it 7, there's 13 left. 5, there's 15. 3, there's 17. This is just 4? I think it's just 4. This is the worst pro golfer of all time, by the way. Probably not 3. So let's go 4. Submit.
This should do the trick. Oh, my. This one is quite
Remember, this is a
formidable.
pro golfer we're talking about. He can do some pretty amazing things. Oh. God dang it, dude. It's a math puzzle. Oh my god, it's a math puzzle. Okay, I've got it. It's a math puzzle. It's gonna be 2. I guess it's not really a math puzzle, but basically what I'm imagining is you've got this, which is 20, and he's just gonna putt like a triangle, where both of these are gonna be 11. So it's gonna end up being 2.
And now to test my theory.
Amazing.
Ha! Wonderful.
Good job. If our friend, the pro golfer, putts 2 diagonal shots as shown above, he can sink the ball in 2 shots. Sweet. No one ever said the golfer had to be putt directly toward the hole, did they? Sure, in order to sink the putt using the method shown above, he'd need to calculate the angle of each shot perfectly, but that's probably why he's a pro. Nah, it's okay. That's why there's hint coins. You know, not every puzzle's easy, right? And maybe there will be some puzzles that you will understand immediately, and I'm gonna feel dumb. Like if there's anything about shooting a bow and arrow, you got me.
That's the ticket. Very nice. You've got a good head on those shoulders, Sonny, but I guess you need one to pull off that hat.
Cool, and I guess he's totally forgiven us. Let's click on the windmill. Harnessing the power of nature is quite an impressive feat. True. And it's cost efficient as well. Alright.
Look at all these booths. Now this is what I call a festival. Oh, I just love all the hustle bustle. It's so wonderful.
Shall we walk around and take in more of the sights then?
Definitely.
Alright, let's do it. The professor, Luke, and Flora decide to check out the plaza in front of the town hall. Oh my god, we got George Washington.
Oh, boo ho ho. Parting with one so dear to your heart is even more painful than the tightest wig. When she was a child, I used to read to her until she fell asleep. She looked just like an angel. Oh, nothing hurts so much as, oh, separation's knife.
What is wrong with this guy?
Gee, I don't know about that. I guess I've never really given it much thought. Oh, fret not. I wasn't expecting one as young as yourself to fully understand a pain such as mine.
Yeah, Jacques. Jacques who? It does sound pretty fancy. He's probably supposed to sound more French, right?
Don't mind me. I'll just excuse myself now.
Okay, that was bad. I'm sorry.
The way he was carrying on, you'd think he just got dumped. But he seemed sad in a different way, didn't he?
Best not to pry too deeply into the private affairs of others, Luke. It's not becoming of a gentleman.
You're right, Professor.
Who's this little dork?
Hey fellows, pleasure to meet you. My name's Albert, and I am just nuts about our beautiful village. I heard you've been running around Dropstone asking questions, but you haven't talked to me yet. If you solve this puzzle, the king of Dropstone trivia, yours truly will answer your question for you.
Buddy, you need to get a life. Oh god. Okay, below is a wheel of male and female portraits. Select a portrait and, counting that portrait as 1, move 6 portraits either clockwise or counterclockwise, then cross out the last of these 6 portraits. Repeat these patterns starting from the next available portrait and moving in the same direction. If you started just the right portrait, you can remove all the women in the wheel, leaving only the 6 portraits of men behind. Circle this portrait. Remember, you can move clockwise or counterclockwise. Yeah, I know.
Don't you want to hear about our beautiful Dropstone village? I know every single little fact. Hey, why are you walking away?
Alright. So how many people are there? There's 13, right? Or sorry, there's 12. So moving 6 would be the person directly across, wouldn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, what? Oh, but I guess when you move back, it's going to be a different person, right? Oh my god, okay. So, because like you skip over the ones that have already been crossed out. So I think it's going to, maybe it'll be something like this, and then like this, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, cross this person out, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, cross this person out, cross this person out, and then cross this person out. Sweet. Okay.
And now to test my theory.
What?
Oh,
You're pissing me off.
my. This one
Too
is
bad.
quite
Give the
formidable.
puzzle another try. How was that not correct? You're kidding me, bruh. Boys Club. What? Oh, counting that portrait as 1. Oh. Oops. Okay, I messed that up. It's gonna be, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how it works. So really you're only moving 5. So if you start here, then you cross this person out, and then, oh my god. Help. But do you skip people still? I don't know. So go here, here, here. No, I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused. So, like, she's within 5 of here and 5 of here. And then there's got to be something like skipping the portraits. Starting from, oh, repeat this pattern starting from the next available portrait and moving in the same direction. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Okay. Okay. So let's go here. No. Let's here. 1, 2, 3, 4. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cross here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cross here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god. Okay, let's go the opposite way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? Oh, you start at one of the dudes. You gotta start at one of the dudes. Of course. Okay. Start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? Okay. So it's not this dude. Or is it? Maybe you go the other way? We're gonna be here for a while. Okay, it's a just bear with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We did it.
Consider this puzzle solved.
Consider this puzzle solved.
Ha! Wonderful.
See? It's just that easy. You gotta trial and error over the course of 20 minutes and eventually you'll solve it. And what is our reward? Dropstone trivia. It should have been Albert, the one that was eliminating all the ladies, I won't lie.
Expertly solved. Oh, it gave me chills, it really did. Okay, ask away. If you got any questions about the village or its history, I'm your man.
What about the Elysian box?
You've ruined my day. I'm out of here.
Would you happen to know anything about a supposedly cursed antique called the Elysian box?
It's hard to believe, but you've gone beyond my area of expertise. I've never heard of the thing. What I can tell you is that people in this town jump at the very mention of curses. From what I gather, it seems they have some connection to the village in the days of its founding. Unfortunately, that's all the info I can really give you on that subject. Sorry to let you down.
You've been a terrible disappointment, just like you are to your parents. Goodbye. Well, that was a waste of time. These are all posters of cows. That's odd. I know.
He's like, I know everything about this town.
What about this thing?
I don't know what you're talking about. Look at this little monument here, Professor.
It appears to be commemorating something. Why don't we take a closer look? A puzzle on a monument. Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise. He's compensating. Okay, on the day Dropstone was founded 50 years ago, the villagers toasted with red wine and danced late into the night.
They also built the statue, engraving it with the word red and the date 8/12. Part of the statue is shaped like a wine glass and can be filled with water from the spout at the top. While the statue describes the villagers' activities on the day of the founding, it can also show where they all found themselves the day after the festivities. Can you figure out where the villagers were? Answer in 3 letters. This creeps me out. Dropstone 8/12 red. Answer in 3 letters? What? Is this like a phone puzzle with like 812? Like old school phones? Alright, who has a flip phone? What? Oh my god, 1 doesn't have any letters on flip phones. It's ruined. Okay, let's take a hint. Say, part of the engraving is the 3-letter word red. That's not just a coincidence, is it? Yeah, probably not. It's probably not a coincidence. Okay, what about 8/12? 12 minus 8 is 4. Red? 4 red? They went Fred? Okay, what's the 8th letter of the alphabet? H? What's the 12th letter? L? Haled? Imagine how things would look if you filled the wine glass part of the monument to the brim with water. What is this supposed to tell us? I'm just gonna say bed. Can I do that? What the? Okay. B E D. Bed.
This should do the trick.
That's the worst puzzle of all time, because bed was literally the first word that I thought
Wonderful.
of. Oh my god, it's a reflection. Okay. Brilliant! Filling the wine glass part of the monument with water creates a reflection that transforms the engraving of 8/12 red to 8/13 bed. Oh my god! Dead. Dead in bed, indeed. Oh my god, look at this bird. Jesus. Get some meat on those bones, man. You're often liable to fall down a hole. Get stuck down there. I know, it's massive brain. Everyone must have stayed up so late celebrating the new village of Dropstone that they couldn't get up on time the next morning.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. They couldn't get up because they were so tired after drinking all the wine and alcohol. According to the writing here, this village was founded by its first settler 50 years ago.
It's strange how 50 years is a long time for a person, but not much time at all for a village.
Quite so. But this fact just invites more questions. Why did this founder come here in the first place? It's hard to believe he or she simply set forth from their old residence to found a new village. Indeed, it is strange. I wonder if it has anything to do with this curse in the Elysian box. Another useless puzzle. Thank you, game. Okay, let's go to the town hall. This building appears to be the town hall.
Yes, but it looks like it's closed for the day.
Never mind. Well, they probably wanted to give everyone a chance to enjoy today's festivities. Luke, this reminds me of a puzzle set in front of a town hall like this one. Care to give it a go?
Would I ever? A town hall puzzle? Let's go.
That actually reminds me. In elementary school, for some reason there was a class where like we were doing like a riddle, and it was like something where it's like, I'm a shape that can be found in the middle of towns. And I was like, town square. And I was so happy I got it right. And then the teacher was like, actually it's a square, but you got close enough. 3 people at odds with one another are running for mayor in the upcoming town election. Including these 3 candidates, the town has a voter population of 40 people. In order to win, a candidate must get more votes than any other candidate. If each of the 40 voters cast a single vote and every vote is recognized, what's the fewest number of votes a candidate needs to secure victory with certainty? Or what is the fewest number of votes a candidate needs to secure victory with certainty? Ooh, God. A murder mystery puzzle in elementary school? That's lit.
Let's see if this works.
I like murder mysteries. Actually, I really like detective games, which is part of the reasons why I wanted to play the Professor Layton games, because they're kind of like puzzly in that regard, but I just feel like there aren't enough that aren't literally just like visual novels. Yeah. I was thinking 21 at first, but the one person's guaranteed to vote for themselves, so you actually only need 20. Look at this long-winded explanation. I'm out of here. Nobody's gonna read that. Well done. Now we really should get back to investigating the town. Indeed.
There are some more booths over to the right. Let's see what kind of stuff they have going on.
Okay. Sorry. I know, right? It's like 2 paragraphs about how to solve this puzzle. Like, I'm good, man.
Wow, look at those gigantic cow balloons.
They're kind of cute. It looks like the villagers are setting up for the livestock competition. Why are they so obsessed with cows, though?
Livestock competition? That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun for the cow, I'm sure. They get picked to be a winner and then chopped up for the dinner later. Yes, I'd certainly like to see the competition myself, but it doesn't appear quite ready to start yet. Yeah, they really love eating, they really love cows, and they hate curses. And they hate boxes, too.
While we're waiting, can we go see more of the village?
Certainly. We can return later when the competition commences.
Yay!
The professor, Luke, and Flora decide to walk around until the livestock competition starts. Sounds good to me. Can I click on any of these dudes?
Aw, the competition still hasn't started.
Oh, okay, I'm out of here. Now let's go over here, where I wasn't allowed to go before. Oops. Drop a little save, just in case something happens. Hello.
I never forget a face, and I don't know any of yours. You must be from the Momentary Express. Since you're new to town, let me clue you into a few key facts about Dropstone. I'm the king of Dropstone trivia. I know you're interested, so don't act all bashful and reserved on my account. Listen, if you know one name in Dropstone, make sure it's Mr. Anderson's.
Mr. Anderson. That explains a lot.
Not only is the fellow swimming in money, he pretty much runs Dropstone. But he's a swell guy who treats everyone with respect, even the mailman. That'd be me, by the way. That's the second fact you must know. I am the mailman. I always say you can tell a heck of a lot about people by the way they treat their local mail carrier. But even nice guys like him have troubles. I hear he spends all his time fretting about his daughter. That reminds me, I just saw a pair of unusual characters head up toward Mr. Anderson's house. The two said they were police from London, but something about them seemed downright fishy.
Okay. 2 people, huh? Are you referring to Inspector Chelmy and his assistant?
Chelmy, you say? That sounds right. He said he had official police business. Said he needed to see
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, this town is pretty fishy, huh? It was founded 50 years ago, which is the same time the train was founded. And the one dude was like, oh, you're here for repairs, huh? I know where you're going. Where would that be? Oh, pretend I said nothing. What do you know that we don't? Is this like a horror movie? Is this like a cult horror movie? What was that one movie? That was about the people that went to that cult in like Norway. And then they like got eaten or something. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. I don't watch movies. What possible connection could there be between Mr. Anderson and the Elysian box?
Well, it seems that Mr. Anderson serves as the head of this community. You don't know about that? Yeah, I don't know. There's just some kind of, gore horror movie, probably. I don't really like horror movies. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but I scare easily, so I tend to avoid them. It's only natural that he'd know about who and what passes through this area.
He's a big fish, all right. You're right on the money about that. Heck, even the owner of their Momentary Express stops in to pay him a visit when he's in town. Yes, I bet those 2 officers are being waited on like kings at Mr. Anderson's as we speak. But enough chit-chat. We've got a festival going on now, so go have some fun. I'll go have some fun at Mr. Anderson's. How about that? You love horror movies, all right. Oh my god, we got Phineas. Greetings. I don't think I've seen you around these parts before. Okay, all my people are starting to sound the same, aren't they? May I ask your name?
Of course, I'm Herschel Layton, Professor of Archaeology at Gressenheller University.
Charmed, sir. Welcome to Dropstone, Professor Layton. My name is Dorothea, and I am a maid at the service of the Anderson family. Yeah, negative chin, giga nose. Dang, I feel bad for this woman. If you, turned her head upside down, it would make more sense. I feel like. Just like, whoosh. Tell me what brings you to our humble village.
My companions and I are after an artifact known as the Elysian Box. Have you heard of it before?
Please leave. Can't say that I have, but the master is quite knowledgeable about curiosities such as that.
She'll have no nose. I mean, yeah, but that's I feel like it's more natural, right? Than having whatever this is. Inverted pyramid. The master, madam.
Oh yes, excuse my thoughtlessness. I keep forgetting you're new here, even though I did say that I work for Mr. Anderson earlier. I'd venture there's not a single resident of our village who doesn't know Mr. Anderson.
I see. Well, if it's at all possible, we'd very much like to meet Mr. Anderson.
Normally I'd say he'd be glad to receive you, but lately he's been preoccupied with his daughter.
I don't mean to pry, but has there been some issue between Mr. Anderson and his daughter?
She's dead. Well, yes, just between you, me, and the wall. His daughter has been secretly planning a trip alone. Oh my god, she's trying to run away from home? Secretly planning a trip alone? Is that your way of saying she's planning to run away? Yes, you don't seem to have very much tact, little boy. And what's worse is that the master is starting to catch on that something is going on. Well, how does everybody else know when the master didn't? Like she knew this entire time? But after much talk, we servants have decided to cheerfully see the master's young daughter off.
So you're in support of allowing this girl to go off on her own. Why is that? Women should stay at home. Nice job, Layton. Very progressive.
Because the purpose of the trip is to fulfill the last request of the young lady's late grandmother.
I see. May I inquire as to what that last request was?
Well, I myself have only heard scraps of the story from other people, so I can't say much. But whatever the request, it's one that the young mistress seems to feel is extremely important. Oh, look at that. Here I am, gossiping away when there's supper to prepare.
Is this voice terrible? I feel like a fool.
Please excuse me, Professor Layton. I need to get back to work.
Oh, before you go. Rats, she's gone. I mean, she's gone, bro. This house is one room. She probably just walked 2 feet.
Maybe it's me, but it sounds like Mr. Anderson's daughter leaving home.
But it sounds like Mr. Anderson's daughter's leaving home more than going on a trip. Sounds like her voice. Yeah, true, it kind of does, right? She's got, like, her hand on her chin with her pinky up. Like, come on, man. You're not that fancy. Get over yourself. You're living in a one-room cottage, okay?
And yet, for some reason, the servants are cheering her on. How odd.
Yes, very. And think about the consequences should Mr. Anderson find out what's been going on. The servants must have a truly solid reason if they've resolved to keep a secret like this.
What could it possibly be? I'm getting the feeling Dropstone isn't as ordinary as it looks.
Your observational skills are on voice. Yeah, exactly. You're not the only one, Luke. But enough speculation. Let's go explore more of the village.
Okay, Professor.
Oh my god. I was not expecting to see this. This cat sculpture certainly is expressive.
Yeah, I know, right? Looks like I'm just now starting to think that things might not be right with this place. Yep, he's a cute one. Oh, if you like cats, Professor, have I got a puzzle for you.
Oh my god, there were some crazy puzzles in the first game. Like, there was one about a dog getting run over by a car. And then there was one about a pregnant rat giving birth like every 2 days. This game goes hard. What? This is the same as the puzzle I had earlier. Okay. One of the 3 color pictures, A, B, or C, is the same picture as the black and white one displayed in the far left. Well, what are the differences between them? Right, that's the main thing we gotta figure out. Okay. So this one's got a shorter eyebrow. Oh, 2 shorter eyebrows. So it's not A. Cross that out. Whoosh. And then what's the difference between B and C? Oh, I think the line in the middle is skinnier. So I think it's B.
This should do the trick.
A nice little spot the difference puzzle.
A true gentleman leaves no puzzle unsolved.
Yep, that's the sign of a true gentleman, Layton. Solving puzzles. Good eye. I remember in high school we read Charles Dickens' book, Great Expectations. And one of the big themes in that book is like the main character is trying to become a gentleman. And our teacher was like, yeah, you know, back in the day in England, being a gentleman was literally just like a job. Like, you could just be like a cool guy, and that's your profession. And you like go study to become a gentleman. Like, what? What does that even mean? You're getting paid just for being like a nice guy? I don't get it.
You always make it look so easy.
Yeah, I know, right? What? But I guess they had to do a bunch of training to make sure they were well-mannered. That book was crazy. That's like, I think that's one of his most famous books. I don't really know much about Dickens because I don't read, but it was a wild ride, I suppose. We got a little fat. Oh, I said fat. I combined fish and cat. Got a little fish here.
Oh, these are so cute.
God, this lady seems like another loner. Whoever lives here. There's quite the variety of paints. Alright, let's get out of here. Wander until the competition. I just realized that's our goal. Just wander around. Aha, hint coin. I haven't really been looking for hint coins.
Wow, a mansion in the woods. I sure wish I had one.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where she dipped to. Maybe she was shopping here and she doesn't actually live here. But I don't know, like, why was she so far away from, like, come on. Be real. You were walking around in a paint shop when you're trying to prepare dinner. Like, you know, at one point in time I thought, yeah, she's gone. She's like, alright, I must go. Sprints away. 100-meter dash. Like, living out in the woods, you'd have, like, terrible internet, right? I kind of like having good internet. Oh my god, we got clown shoes. Me? I'm a world traveler, but I'm stuck here until I can score a ticket on the Momentary Express. I was hoping for a freebie, so I told Beluga one of my puzzles to break the ice. Unfortunately for me, he got all hot under the collar when he couldn't solve it. Here, maybe you'll have better luck with it. We found Bigfoot. An international traveler, to be sure. Alright. Bro, just a sliding block puzzle? Are you serious? Okay. Oh, I hate these men. I am gonna be here for ages. I'm already stuck. Okay. It's okay. We can figure this out. So this is guaranteed. We have to do this. But then what? Like, it's gotta be this, right? But then what? Like, what? What? Oh, there we go. I gotcha, I gotcha. And then we go up there, and then what? Now what do I do? Okay, here we go. Let's go. Look it out. Easy.
Consider this puzzle.
Why is my luggage blocked by blocks? Yeah, I don't know. There's another puzzle earlier where it's like Luke just had his luggage lying on the ground, and then Layton was like, so, are you going to clean that up? And Luke's like, oh yeah. And there was a puzzle where you had to like stuff all the luggage back in the suitcase. It's like, there's some crazy puzzles in here, man. Oh my god, it's a dog. Very nice. Be sure to show the baggage porter how you did it so that next time he can get your luggage for you. Probably just like pick it up and walk around. You're a pretty clever bunch, aren't you? With folks like you around, we might actually solve the mystery of the Military Express. People say that the train occasionally makes a stop at a phantom town found on no map. Could just be a wild rumor though, who knows? By the way, I've never seen this town on any map before.
An unplotted town? Wow, I wonder if that's true.
I wonder.
Do you think there are chickens in that barn?
I thought that was a house. Oh, I guess the barn's next to it. So is that guy just blocking our way? We can't get over there?
Wowee, look at the size of that mansion. I bet you can get lost in there.
Yeah, it does look more like a shed. But I guess chickens don't really need... Whoa. Okay, I had my PlayStation controller hooked up and it started to do some nonsense. So I don't know what they just said.
So that's where Inspector Chelmy and his assistant went, right?
But yeah, I was gonna say, chickens don't really need that much room, right? Like, chicken coops are usually pretty small, so I don't know.
I'd like to see this place myself. Can we go take a look?
No, for now, I think we should go back. I think our best course of action is to gather what information we can in the village. Besides, I imagine the Andersons have their hands full with the 2 guests they currently have. Well, screw you, Flora, I guess.
I want to go see the mansion.
Well, we better get going. That's a cute little piece of waterside construction. We got... Who the heck? Bro, we got a Redditor. Erg. Herg. Phew. That should do it.
Good afternoon. What are you doing there, sir?
Me? Oh, I'm just doing a little fishing in this here lake.
Sounds like a lot of work. Have you had much luck?
Actually, that's a good question. Now that I think about it, how many have I managed to catch today?
Let's make it a puzzle. You've cast a large net out in a pond to catch some fish. Every part of the net is in the water except for the two ends, which you're holding in your hands as shown below. Oh, it's like a... like what's caught in the net puzzle. Yeah, going like, Herg, erg, gurg. He's just yelling and moaning and scaring the fish away. So parts of your sunken net aren't visible from the surface, assuming that there are no tears in the net and that its rim is constructed of a single length of rope that ends on the shore. How many of the fish visible in the pond will you snare when you pull the net up? Okay. So everything caught in these lines. What? I'm so confused. Okay. I'm so confused. Oh, it probably goes around here. Okay, I've confused. Oh my god. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's gonna be 7. Whatever.
Let's see if this works.
Nice. We did it.
That was almost too easy.
That was almost too easy. That's his catchphrase. Who the heck is this dude snoozing? That's right. To solve this puzzle, you need to imagine how the unseen parts of the net connect, which should look something like the illustration above. As you can see, this net will catch a total of 7 fish. This is the worst designed fishing net of all time. Woohoo! What a haul! Tonight I feast like a king. Yeah, man. I don't even have words. Oh, okay, there's Chelmy, and here's... Who the heck is this guy? Alright, prepare for the Chelmy voice. I am so sorry. Oh, it's Inspector Chelmy.
Well, look at who it is.
Hello, Inspector. Are you returning from the Anderson estate?
Yeah, I know, right? It's like 7 fish in one night. Come on, be real.
I don't know where you get your information, Layton, but you're as sly as a fox. As a matter of fact, I was just there, but the servant said Mr. Anderson himself wasn't home. They said the bloke's off presiding over some livestock competition. A likely story, I'm sure.
I'm curious. What connection do you see between Mr. Anderson and the case you're investigating?
Not that it's any of your business, but perhaps you can be of help. I'd heard rumors that bloke had tried to find this Elysian box in the past, so I went to talk to him. But when I got to the house, his butler told me he wasn't home and that I should leave. Can you believe it? I'd bet you a tenner he was just pretending to be out. I went out of my way to see the man. The least he could do was offer me a proper cup of coffee.
So true. Yeah. You got lots of characters that are quite mean. And then you got the main gang. That's what makes Professor Layton and Luke they're such gentlemen. They're so nice to everyone. Everyone else is just douchebags.
But why would Mr. Anderson be interested in the Elysian box in the first place?
It's anyone's guess, Luke. We won't know more until we can ask him in person.
I guess we better head over to the livestock competition that Mr. Anderson is judging.
Humph, fine. Let the blasted bloke judge his precious livestock competition then. I won't be there.
What a petty little... What?
As far as I'm concerned, the whole thing's a frivolous distraction for the rich. Give me my coffee now. Speaking of which, I can only assume his obsession with the box stems from the excess of time and money on his hands. If you see anything that might help this investigation, report it to me straight away, you hear?
No. I thought he was about to offer up a puzzle, though, I won't lie.
Like, speaking of which, here's a puzzle that I have.
We are always happy to cooperate, Inspector. Now, please excuse us.
Sure, off you go. Come along, Barton. We've got work to do.
Okie dokie, sir.
Alright, we better hurry back to the competition grounds.
The professor, Luke, and Flora decide to return to the site of the livestock competition. Who's this goofy looking dude? I have no words.
Professor, I think this fellow here fell asleep standing up.
Judging by his uniform, he must be a security guard. I wonder how his employer feels about his nap. I don't even know what to say. That perimeter is secure. Please confirm my identity by solving this puzzle. What? Confirm identity by solving puzzle. That makes sense. Oh my god. Okay. 3 rope loops are tangled together with a single red rope. If you were to pull both ends of the red rope, a single knot would form in the middle. Can you figure out how many of the rope loops would get caught in this net when it forms? Remember, even if a loop appears to have been pulled into the knot, you shouldn't count it in your answer if you can pull a loop free of the red rope with a tug. What? Okay, well, blue's free. I don't know. Instead of ID, they use puzzles in this world. Okay, so blue is free. And orange... Orange looks like it's also free. Am I tripping? Okay, so I think it's just green gets stuck. What are rope loops, by the way? These just look like rubber bands. Okay, I'm gonna say 1.
And now to test my theory.
I'm so annoyed.
Well. I
Make sure you
suppose
examine
can't
every
win
detail
all.
of the picture carefully.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Oh wait, you're saying you don't think orange is free? That's not what I'm saying. Well, see, what I figure is you can pull orange out to here, and then you just like pull it out from underneath blue and green. Because it's underneath green and it's underneath red. So you just whoop, slide it out. But wait, I guess that means that green's not stuck either. Wait a minute. I mean, look, there's only 4 possible answers, right? Wow.
Ha! Wonderful.
Oh, okay. Well, they didn't even... I guess there's not really a way to visualize that. Good thinking. Not a single loop will become truly entangled in the knot that forms. When you pull the red rope and form a knot, 1 loop will fall away and the other 2 will hang from the red rope free of the knot. Okay. Well, there you go. Great explanation. Correct answer confirmed. Well done, sir. Snore. He must be some kind of mad puzzle genius to be able to talk about them in his sleep.
Yum 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 yum.
Cool. Our identity's confirmed. Let's go. Oh my god. Who's this weasel looking dude?
Boy, oh boy, I am in a tight spot.
I just immediately failed to read. My reading skill has gone down drastically.
Boy, oh boy, I am in a tight spot. I wanted to make a clean cut in this board, but I botched it kind of bad. It's pretty much useless as is. Can you think of a way to turn the pieces into a solid square?
Board splitter 1. Oh my god, it's another one of these. Here we have an oddly shaped board. Since this board is rather unwieldy as is, you've decided to cut it into 2 pieces and rejoin these pieces to form a square. Assuming you aren't allowed to flip either of the pieces over once the board is cut, where should you make the cut in order to achieve the above? Yeah, he looks a little sus. I mean, it's just like right here, right? And then you just take this and go bloop. Bloop.
And now to test my theory.
And now to
Huh,
test my theory.
Wonderful.
Point. What is this dude doing, bro? He's just lounging around, scratching his bum. Excellent. Easier than it looks, isn't it? I guess so.
Woohoo, that did the trick. Thanks. Now I can finally get back to building that shed.
You got a screw part. Use it to rebuild the cameras in the professor's trunk. Woohoo! We can keep building our camera. Apparently we're gonna get a secret once we finish building it, so... Should I mess around with it? I don't even know, like, what I'm looking at, though. You know what I mean? Like, what is going on? I don't even know if this is supposed to be up here. I just shoved it up here for fun. Maybe it's supposed to be there? Maybe that goes there? And then what? There you go. Boom. Okay. Making progress. You know what? That actually looks right, doesn't it? Maybe I'm a genius. Okay, well, I don't know where this is supposed to go. It's a very relaxing song, though, I will admit. Okay, let's just shove it there for now. Out of here. We haven't gotten any new herbs for our tea set. When am I gonna get to go brew some new tea?
My goodness, look at this place. Wow, we made it back to the... Ooh, woo, we made it back in time to catch the competition.
If we've been informed correctly, Mr. Anderson is judging the entries.
So he should be somewhere around here, right?
Indeed. I wonder which of the gentlemen walking around here is our man.
Uh-oh, it looks like the 2 men over there are getting pretty hot under the collar about something.
I wonder what the matter is. Oh, okay, we got some 2 dudes. I mean, one of them doesn't seem very mad at all. He's kind of just sitting there taking it.
Just look at this mangy coat. Anyone with 2 eyes can see that's no bovine of mine. I know what's going down here. Someone swapped out my cow for this lemon.
What is it? This dude is 2D. This is not a real human being that lives in the 3D world. This is just a 2D person. Oh, and what is wrong with this guy's nose? I don't know what's happening. Oh, what do you want me to do about it? Can you at least point out which cow is yours?
Now how do you expect me to do that?
Oh, brother, this is gonna get ugly.
What seems to be the problem, sirs?
This fella here seems convinced someone swapped out his prize cow for another.
I'm telling you, that ain't no cow of mine. My girl was perfect from horns to tail.
See what I mean? There's just no reasoning with him. We can't start the contest with him carrying on, but I don't know how we can clear up the situation.
I'll take care of this. I bet the cows would know if any monkey business went on.
Of course, why didn't I think of that myself? I'll leave this one to you, Luke, since you can talk to animals.
Excuse me, miss. Can you help us out here?
Look at this looking cow, bro. Look at this cow, he's like, I don't know what's going on, I'm out here.
Moo, moo.
I see.
Moo, moo, moo.
Did you find out anything of use?
Nope. I sure did. If I had to sum up our conversation, it'd go something like this.
A puzzle! Misinformation. Oh, it's one of the liar puzzles. Only one of these cows is telling the truth. 5 cows are grazing at the festival. 2 of them are true moo, a breed that only tells the truth. The other 3 are no way, different variety that always lies. Okay. Mark all the no ways. So, 2 of them always tell the truth. 3 of them always lie. D is a no way, I promise. So, oh my god. Okay, so if A is a true moo, that means D is lying, which means that E is a true moo, which means that B is a liar, which means that C is a true moo. So that doesn't make sense. So A is a liar, which means that D is a truth sayer, which means that E is a liar, which means that B is a truth sayer and C is a liar. Cool.
Here goes.
Process of elimination. There you go. Did you follow? Did you follow that logic? It's easier for me because I can like point at my screen. But I can't really do that. I wave my hand around, it just makes myself spaz out.
That's right. Cows A, C, and E are no ways. If you assume each cow to be a no way or a true moo and run through each of the cow statements, you'll eventually realize that all the statements are true. A, C, E, blah, blah, blah. It looks like these 2 ladies swapped places while waiting for the competition to start.
What happened to this dude's nose? He kind of looks like a cow, I won't lie.
Things should be all sorted out now, though.
Oh, you betcha! Look at that build, that lustrous coat, that soulful glaze. That's my cow, no doubt.
So everything's okay by you?
Better an okay kid with my darling back. I'm a shoe-in for that blue ribbon. Thanks.
Well, Luke, you sure have a way with animals. Aw, it's nothing really.
Look over here, you two. They're about to announce the winner. I thought it was going to be a cutscene. I was getting happy, excited.
And the winner of this year's Dropstone Dairy Crown is...
I can't get over this cow. He just looks so, like, bamboozled by everything that's happening. And you got this dude over here who's pissed about nothing.
Oscar's show-stopping milk maven Moo Tilda.
Hold on now, you mean to tell me my sweet Mary Moo didn't take first place?
Too bad you swapped your cow back, Clobber. If you'd kept quiet, you'd be the winner, eh?
It's so exciting. Woohoo! The cow won.
I was robbed. The competition must have been rigged. Rigged, I tell ya.
To think he went through all that trouble to get his cow back, then ended up losing because of it.
Yes, I suppose it goes to show that things in life don't always go as planned. You should always be a schemer and a liar, and you'll get your way eventually.
Right you are, Professor. Say, shouldn't Mr. Anderson be around here now?
It's going to take some effort to find him in a crowd this dense. Let's look around a bit. Alright. I'll play for a little while longer. You know, give a last hoorah for today's stream. Let's see if we can find a nice little puzzle to end it off with. Lopez, looking with clown makeup. Kind of reminds me of the character from the Goofy movie. You ever heard the old saying, the clothes make the man? Well, from the look of your duds, I'd say you got your act together, so try this puzzle on for size. Alright, let's check it. A change of clothes, 30 pickerots. Okay. We got some old people, I don't know what's going on. Men A, B, and C each started off with pants and shirts of a single color. A wore red, B wore blue, and C wore white. Then they were blindfolded and swapped items of clothing. I am curious about the logistics of that. After they took off their blindfolds, here's what they said. A, no one's shirts and pants match. B, it looks like C's the only one of us who didn't keep any of his original clothes. C, I don't know if I like these red pants. Change their clothing by tapping on them and assemble their current outfits using the clues given. What? Oh, okay. So he's got red pants and the white shirt. And then this dude doesn't have his own pants, so he's got to have the blue or the white pants. If he has the white pants, then this dude has the red pants, which can't be possible because none of them are wearing the same clothing. So it's got to be like this, right? Oh no. Hold on. It's got to be like this. Oh wait, C's the only one who didn't keep any of his original clothes. Oh my god, I'm so stupid, bro. Oh my god, I read it the wrong way. Okay. Right, so it's like this. White and then... Or no. Blue and then white. And then white. And then, wait, what? Oh my god, am I stupid? So he has to have a red shirt. And he has to have a white shirt. Which means he has to have blue and then white. Oh my god. Okay, I'm getting an aneurysm. No one's shirts and pants match. C's the only one who didn't keep any of their original clothes. And C's wearing red pants. Check it.
Consider this puzzle solved.
It's actually interesting. I don't know, like, when I realized, but it's really uncommon for me to get headaches. Like, the only time I get headaches, really, is if I'm, like, really sick. But other than that, I'm just, like, chilling. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's normal. It's usually, like, I'm sick, and then, like, I bend over, and then, I die a little inside. I guess because, like, the blood rushes to my brain or something, maybe. Alright, well, that was kind of a cringer puzzle, so let's look for another one. There's nothing tackier than when your shirt and pants don't match. That's fashion rule number 1. Rule number 2, no one can pull off sequins. I don't know what that means, I probably said it wrong. But with that sweet suit of yours, you're golden. No swanky nightclub will turn you away, I guarantee it. Thanks, man. As a gentleman, I feel it is my duty to take one of these balloons. Yep. That's Luke for you. I guess we never did manage to meet Mr. Anderson, did we?
Yes, what a pity. I had a feeling he'd provide us with a lead on the Elysian box.
Hey there, fellows. We've never met before, have we? I heard you chatting about Mr. Anderson and thought to myself, hey, I can help. Here, I'll point him out. He's right there.
Oh, never mind, it's a puzzle. Alright. I bet it's the dude in the hat. This hat right here. That's my guess. Alright. I just saw Mr. Anderson around here a minute ago. He shouldn't be too hard to spot, what with that beard and hat. Yup, he's a real gentleman, and he always looks spiffy with his cane and that dapper little bow tie. Okay, maybe that's not him. Oh, and he doesn't wear glasses, in case you're wondering. Look, there he is now. Okay. So, beard, hat, cane. It looks like this dude. Right? I mean, there's only like 2 people with canes. 3 people, excuse me. This guy doesn't have a beard. Well, there you go, I guess.
And now
I
to test my
suppose.
theory.
Yay. Looking kind of funny.
There's no
I
puzzle
agree.
unsolved.
Oh, looking kind of bald. Oh my... Whoa! Oh my god. Bruh. I thought his bald head was a hat. I'm pretty sure. Was this what the image looked like originally? Am I going crazy? I'm scared. Oh my god, there he is. Dude, I legit thought his bald head was a hat. And that's terrifying to me. But here he is now. And he doesn't really look any more human than he did. Good day, sir. Might you be Miss Anderson?
The one and only, my friend. And whom do I have the pleasure to be speaking with?
The name is Herschel Layton. My friends and I have come to this fine town in search of the Elysian box. I thought a man of influence such as yourself might be able to offer us some direction. Yeah, he looked kind of bald.
The Elysian box, you say? Why would you want to go chasing after a thing like that?
So you're familiar with it then?
Familiar? No, but I do believe my dear mother once searched after the very box you speak of, and she opened it and she died.
Interesting. Please elaborate.
Well, my birth mother died when I was very young. The mother I speak of is actually my mother-in-law, Sophia. She founded this village way back when, a kinder soul I never met. Sharp, too. I know. Yeah, she died. I married into her family, but she treated me like her own flesh and blood.
Oh my god, look at her.
Seeing how I never knew my own mother, I suppose it would be fair to call Sophia my real mother. Even after my wife passed on, Sophia continued to treat me as one of her own. Mother Sophia looked high and low for that box, but she never did find what she was looking for.
So she made efforts of her own to search for it. Fascinating. Tell me, where might Sophia be now?
She's dead. She left us last year. In her last days, she spent a lot of time holed up in her room writing.
Okay. One mystery solved, potentially. When we first arrived in this town, Mr. Beluga talked about how it's been 1 year since she died. So I assume she is referring to Sophia. I know, right? Also, wasn't she like one of the founders, is what he said? I bet Mr. Beluga is one of the founders of the town, and he built the train line to go to the city. Anyways,
Sadly, I never found out why she was so intent on getting her hands on that box.
I see. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Well, my mother may have had knowledge of the subject, but she's gone now. Now you know as much as I do. I regret that I couldn't be more help to you, sir.
Not at all, Mr. Anderson. I've learned a great deal from our conversation. You have my thanks.
Oh, one thing before you go, Mr. Layton. Please take a look around you. The entire area has been booby-trapped. If you move 1 inch, you will die. These picturesque hills, these happy people, Dropstones has been blessed with so much. Sophia turned this place from nothing into a village full of warmth and camaraderie. Dropstone mustn't ever be allowed to wither and fade like so many other villages. After all, too many sacrifices were made to make this place what it is. Do you understand what that means, Layton? Forgive my ramblings. Once I start talking, sometimes I have trouble stopping.
Yeah, I don't know. This place creeps me out. It's full of rude people. It's full of like weird ceremonies, sacrifices, death boxes, curses. I don't know what's going on. I'm scared. I'm ready to go home. Yeah, I mean, it is an illustration, I suppose. God, look at these people. Look at this dude. This dude needs a skin routine, skincare. And we got little, I don't know, Pinhead over here. And I guess here's Layton, Flora, and Luke right there. The homies. Yeah, he's been done a little dirty. Looks kind of like a gorilla or something.
Enjoy your time in Dropstone and be well. Good day. Well, I guess that's another dead-end lead.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Luke. It appears this village is inextricably linked with the Elysian box. I also find Mr. Anderson's choice of words interesting. What do you suppose he meant by sacrifices? Could he possibly have meant human sacrifices?
It looks like our mystery only leads to more mysteries.
The professor, Luke, and Flora decide to head back to the train station to hurry up and escape before they get turned into sacrifices.
Oh my god. That would be fitting. Although I think the game is rated PG, so it's probably not that dark. But yeah, the winner of the cow competition becomes a sacrifice for that year. Actually, it reminds me of like a short story that we read in middle school, my English class. It was about, I think it was called, I don't know, what was it called? It was, I don't remember what it was called, but basically it was about like this event that takes place like every however many years, and it's like, oh, a lottery? The lottery, right? And so you put your thing in, and then they randomly pick a person, and then the entire story is about like, we don't know what the lottery is, we wonder what it is, what could it be, it's crazy. And then almost near the end, people are like, I can't believe some people are like abolishing the lottery, it's a tradition, we've been following it for years. And it turns out the person that gets picked out for the lottery, they stone him to death. Just like, they throw stones and kill him. And that's the end of the short story. So it's like, I think the purpose of the story, I guess, was like, you shouldn't always follow tradition just because it's tradition. Sometimes tradition is bad. And their way of showing that was a story about stoning people to death. Anyways, I think I'm gonna end the stream here, but don't worry, because there's one extra piece of content that I've added to my streams over the past couple weeks, and it revolves around 2 little mini games. Okay, so let me switch scenes here. Where is it? Oh my god, I'm glitching out. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. This is something I really think is cool. It's something I found out about like years ago, and it's a website called Poke Farm. I don't know if you care about Pokemon, but it's basically like you just collect it and raise Pokemon, and it's cool. And you can go to people's profiles, see what they got. They got fields of Pokemons. There's like shinies and all kinds of variants. It's chill. I like it. So I have a thing where it's like a daily catch up, and I just do it at the start and end of the stream. And the other thing, which probably isn't going to be a thing for much longer, is the best idle game of all time, Cookie Clicker. I got 57 decillion cookies, which is quite a bit if you didn't know. There's not much going on here, to be honest. It's kind of reaching the pinnacle of Cookie Clicker, so I'm probably gonna stop doing it soon. But yeah, I like Poke Farm, and like I said, it's something that I discovered a long time. I feel like I actually like clicked on a banner ad. Like I think I saw it from a Google banner ad. It was like, you can raise Pokemon in Poke Farm. And like normally you would think that kind of stuff is a scam, but I was probably like 10 years old, so I clicked on it and I'm like, this looks cool. Let me click on it and raise Pokemon. And now here we are, years later. It's great. It's a great time. Mimikyu is great. Best Pokemon ever. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's all I got. Just wanted to show that off. It's fun if you like Pokemon and you like sitting around doing nothing. Then that's the thing for you. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's stream. Yeah, it is cool. It's fun. Here's my starter, Pichu. My name is Duncan.
Named after me, of course. Well, my VTuber. It's not my actual name. Anyways, I had a fun stream. It was nice. It was nice having a viewer again. You know, I won't lie. Not many people stopped by my stream. I did actually have one person. I felt really bad. There was somebody who showed up to one of my streams. I was playing Hearthstone for a while because I got bored. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of thought you just like moved on, which is fine and normal. I was like, all right, it's back to being alone. You know, I felt like Flora. I was like, I don't want to be alone again. But there was one guy who stopped by one of my streams, and then like a few days later he joined again, but I didn't see his message, so I responded like 3 minutes later, and I think he just thought that I like ignored him, so he left. I felt really bad. I was like, I'm sorry, man. I just didn't see your stream. I was too focused on the game. Yeah, no, I mean that's fair. Like I said, you know, I don't blame anyone for anything. I've done the same. Watch a streamer, and that's it. Yeah. Anyways, I just thought that was a funny story. Some dude showed up, talked a little bit, showed up a few days later, sent a message. I didn't see it, and then he dipped. Sorry. I also had another person show up trying to advertise their services in my stream. Oh, fantastic. Speaking of next stream, it'll be on Thursday. Same time as usual. Yeah, another advertiser. They're like, I can help you get more views on your channel. Start by adding art and relating your Twitter and your Twitch. And I'm like, I'm good. Thank you though. I appreciate the offers, but I don't know. It's really like, it's strangely extremely common. I don't know if it's like a VTuber thing where like people just like to show up in VTuber channels, because this person specifically was talking about like VTuber stuff. They're like, you can collaborate with other VTubers by doing giveaways once a month. I'm like, what? Doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. I think they probably just try to like feed on the desperation of small streamers. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, okay. One last thing. I felt kind of bad because I noticed that you joined my Discord channel. Like, I noticed like a week or two after you joined, and I was like, oh, yeah, my Discord isn't active at all. Like, nobody's in there. I don't use it. I don't even use that Discord account. Like, I made a different account for my stream, and like, I don't even use it. So I felt kind of bad about that. But, you know, maybe one day, if I get more than like 2 people in there that actually want to be a part of it, it can actually be used as like a community hub. But until then, it's just there as a link for people to join. All right. Well, sounds good. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll be back, like I said, on Thursday. Once again, playing this game, same time as usual. 7:30 p.m. my time, which I think is -4 with daylight savings. Maybe it's -6. I don't know. Something like that. It's Eastern time. United States Eastern. Anyways, I've rambled for long enough. It's time for me to go. All right. Sounds good. Hope to see you there. I look forward to seeing you there. How about that? I won't hope because I know you'll be there. You'll be there for sure. Because if you don't show up, I'm going to be distraught. So I look forward to it. Anyways, I'm out of here. Peace out. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.